Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. 2A views, conservative news, and Craig. Two questions. How's your Margarita Monday going, and how was your weekend?
Ooh, Margarita Monday. So we are totally going with the Latino vibe now because we already got Taco Tuesday. Now we're going to go with Margarita Monday. I'm digging it. I really am. Depending on the tequila we're going to use for the margaritas.
Listen, as my wife would say, margaritas are her favorite drink in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
She's not real good on the culture thing.
Not real good on the cultural reference.
Yeah. She's
okay. I was wondering if that was just me. I'm like, Mexico?
While watching the women's FIFA soccer tournament going on in New Zealand, I had to explain to her how it's winter in the southern hemisphere and summer here. She doesn't understand that.
Oh, so. Funny stuff. Well, dude, my weekend was both good and very, very productive. I got a lot of honeydews, stuff that I probably should have fixed like 6 months ago over the weekend. Just got a lot of little things that needed to get fixed. Got them fixed. I was just on a roll. And then also just kind of, chilled with the fam and friends and had a good time. Spent the last final week out at the last couple of days at the state fair at the Republican booth, meeting with constituents. Met a good friend. His name is Wolfpack. He's the owner of O'Malley's Pub in Old Sac. Wolfgang, if you're watching, man, looking forward to coming and hanging out with you. And who knows, maybe doing a little fundraising event there.
Hold on. Did you say there's a part of town called Old Sac?
Yeah. Yes, Old Sacramento. We call it Old Sac.
Was that a 50 and over bar? Is that what that is?
I think in that area the best drink is the Long Island iced tea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was your Old Sac. You said something also that made me remember an old quote along the lines of women, if you ask a man to do something, don't worry, he'll do it. You don't need to remind him every 6 months.
Yes, I have sent that meme to my wife more than once. Well, man, look, it's like this. I'm not a Mr. Fix-It. I really am not. And when I get on a roll and I'm like, okay, and I can fix something, I'm like, okay, luck is on my side now. Let's see what else I can fix while I'm still on a roll.
I know you, Craig. You could just about fix a sandwich. That's about it.
Well, no, I'll tell you. So I have one client do a lot of stuff I do is web stuff, and I told him, I used to always joke. I said, I know just enough about websites to crash one. And as we were in the middle of a website, we weren't in the middle. We were near the end of a website rebuild, and we were just about ready to take the new website online. Guess what I did?
You crashed it.
I cried, dude. It was an epic crash. So much so that we spent 2 hours just getting the new website online. Just literally, it's like, just get the new website online. There's no saving it. It's done. It's dead.
There you go.
Completely.
There you go.
It cannot be zombified. It is done. But I was true to my word. I earned my reputation.
For all you folks out there considering voting for Craig for Congress, he's a man of his word.
I am a man of my word. If you need me to crash your website, I can do it. I have experience.
That's it. Yep. Very good. Yeah, where were you when George Santos? Yeah.
Well, exactly. See, now he lied about everything. He promised to crash your website, but no go. Not going to work.
Yeah, you could have crashed it. No problem. Yeah. All that stuff would have been gone. No pictures of him dancing in drag down in Central America or wherever he was.
Yeah. Hey, have you talked with Rick at all? Do we have any final numbers from his women's weekend of training?
No, and I was supposed to go and had some unfortunate things occur in the last 2 days prior and couldn't get there. So I think he is shunning me right now.
Oh, well, I told him I knew I wasn't going to be able to go because we're going to be heading out of town, and I'm like, look, dude, I'm not with the way flights are going these days. I'm not going to be stuck in Detroit when I'm supposed to be on my way to Hawaii.
Well, and then that was the problem for me. It was I got stuck in New York when I was supposed to be getting ready to go to Detroit. So I still had to come back to Florida and then go back to Detroit. It just didn't work out. So
Oops. Yeah, there's no taking chances like that. But I'm wearing my Top Gun hat, which is one of the facilities where they did the training, where for those of you who don't know, Rick Ector, legally armed in Detroit, also NRA board member, does a training every year where he invites women out to come out for free, and they train them, they let them shoot, they teach them how to shoot a firearm. It's I think the record, I don't know if they hit 2,000 this year, but we got like this close to 2,000 women. What was it, 2020, didn't we?
it's pretty close. So we'll see. We'll get some final numbers.
Yeah. So anyway, but go over, find his Facebook page, check him out, and who knows, maybe next year we'll be able to get out there.
For show.
All right, sir. Well, hey, let's get into the news, but before we do that, let's make sure we give a shout out to our sponsors.
Let's do it. Let's say hi to our good friends at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. You hear me say it all the time. If you got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, probably got one of their barrels and don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them direct for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR rifle. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Also, make sure you check out the California 6th congressional race. You might find that one interesting. If you want the best concealment holsters, tactical holsters on the market, check out our friends at Hog Holsters. That's HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown, all one word, no spaces, all caps. And if you want some field gear, so going out to the woods, going hunting, going hiking, no matter what it happens to be, check out our friends at uscombatgear.com.
Folks, I cannot say it enough. I'm running for Congress for those. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. I'm running for Congress here in California's 6th congressional district. Let me just hip you to something. Running for office is not free, and I am not independently wealthy. I will tell you right now, anything that you can do to help out, anything that you can do to be a part and help us to be successful in unseating an anti-gun, anti-American Mr. Ami Berra would be greatly appreciated. All you got to do is go to craigdeluz.com. That's craigdeluz.com. And, kick in what you can kick in. I don't need a lot. I just need a little from a lot of people. So why don't you be one of those one of those folks who kicks in? Well, you can kick in a lot, and you can be a lot of people who kick in a lot.
Listen, you a lot of people can kick in a little. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't have to be little people giving money. So it could be anybody.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing, and I realize I may not live where you live. I may not be in your district, but here's the thing. There is no one you can point to in Congress right now who has actually been a grassroots advocate, knocking on doors, going and talk to politicians, testifying on behalf of the right to keep and bear arms. Can't look at one congressman. Not one. This will be the first. So help me be your advocate. Help me to be your voice in Washington, D.C.
There you go. I can't wait. I got some Polaroids. They're going to pay dividends.
Yeah, not like you think, bro. Not like you think. Pictures of my bunions do not motivate.
Yeah, they're your bunions. That's what they are.
There we go. All right, well, hey, let's go ahead and get into today's stories. Now, this is an interesting turn of events. You might remember that one of the loudest voices in the defund the police movements, or was it reimagining law enforcement movements? One of the loudest voices was that of the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of colored people. Now, I am black, so therefore I think I get to say colored people. Michael, you do not because you are not. And it is a black organization, so they get to still use the word color people, and it is not racist. And that is how we exercise our little bit of equity in this world. For those of you who are wondering, no, I do not actually believe that mess. Anyway, all that having been said, well, recently they issued a letter, and this letter went out to the officials there in the city of Oakland. Basically, the California NAACP wants emergency declared over Oakland crime. It says NAACP leaders in California are calling for a state of emergency over crime in Oakland after the organization's branch in the East Bay blamed efforts to defund the police and limit prosecutions for putting the city in a doom loop. The NAACP said increases in violent crime and lack of urgency to get a handle on the issue are hollowing out Oakland's economic activity, and the vicious cycle will create more desperate people who will turn to crime to get by. The California Hawaii State Conference NAACP said Friday that it stands by and doubles down on the Oakland branch's request for city leaders to sound the alarm on lawlessness. Now, Mike, you and I both know, how is this? How can they be so blind as to not see their own role in what has occurred there in the city of Oakland?
Because it's not the party line. It's not the agenda, Craig. They're not going to give you what the liberals, what the Democrats want you to hear, or they're not going to give you what you need to hear. They're going to give you what they want you to hear, and that's the problem. The NAACP is in cahoots with the Democrat Party, right, to put this out there. This is they want you to have all the feel good vote for Democrat information, and this is just part of it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all about feel good stuff. But here's the thing, and the other thing that I keep trying to tell people is they've woken up to a reality, and this is a reality that their own constituents are telling them, that these people who you refuse to prosecute, we get that you want to protect people and keep people of color out of prison, out of jail, but they're robbing us. They're robbing people of color. They're shooting people of color. They're killing people of color. They're raping people of color. The very people that you say you are here, you say you want to protect, well, guess what? They're being victimized.
Yeah, Craig, there's a story coming out of DC in the next week. I forget which network's putting it on, but it's about gun crime, right? Gun crime, because guns committing crimes out there. And they have the police chief from Metro DC PD, and then one of the colonels in charge of the evidence room, I believe it was. She's a black female colonel, law enforcement officer. I'm nothing against her law enforcement career. She's probably worked her way up through the ranks. I get that. Good job for her. But when they asked her, they were showing some guns, some guns that were used in crime, and they were just standard Glocks, it looked like. And they asked, well, how do you explain these guns? And she said, well, that's the mystery, isn't it? That these guns ended up in the police room and that they were used in crimes. And, and that's just the ignorance of the party, that they want you to hear these words. It's the gun, right? It's the gun that's at fault. It has nothing to do with that law-abiding citizens at one point owned these guns, that a criminal stole these guns, used them in crimes, and then we let the criminals go light and scot-free with no charges, and they're wondering how these guns are being used in crimes. How about this? It's not the law-abiding gun owner's gun that committed a crime. It's a criminal that stole a gun and then used the gun in the commission of the crime, and you did nothing to the criminal. That's the problem, is that your reform of criminal justice no longer holds criminals accountable.
Well, and by the way, what's interesting in this piece is they do talk about, look, if there's no consequences, people are going to continue to commit crimes. And I'm like,
exactly
duh.
Right.
How is this just not obvious? Right? Anybody who's raised a child understands that this is human nature. It is
Yes.
human nature. There must be accountability. Where there is no accountability, there can be no discipline, right? And our goal here
Correct.
is to actually make sure that people are held accountable. Anyway, Mary
It's
over at Mary and Donna over at watching us on Opslands on Facebook. If you go over to the rundown, right? If you go to the rundown on Facebook, 2A Views Conservative News, you'll see it with absolutely no hiccups or interruptions. I'll see if I can post the link in the description when I have Mike pontificating one more time. I'll go ahead and I'll post the link in there. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps freezing up. It's been an ongoing challenge we've had with their Ops. Now, if you want to watch it just on OpsLens, it doesn't do that either. It's for some reason it's just the interface between their feed and Facebook. Or at least when it comes to our stuff. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting us know. We do recognize that it's a challenge. And well, anyway, thank you both, Mary and Donna. All right. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so it comes down to, like you say, it's, like anybody that's raised children before or currently raising children. Craig, I don't care if it's raising children or you got a new puppy you're raising. If you don't teach the difference between right and wrong, you're going to always end up with them doing the wrong thing, whether it's the easy way or they just never learned the difference between right or wrong. And when they go wrong, you can't go, oh, that's wrong, but you know what? No consequences. We're just going to ask you not to do that again. And then when you do it again, we're going to say, we don't understand why the poop is there on the floor. I don't know the poop. It's a poop crime. I have a dog in my house, and there's a poop crime going on because I never taught the dog the difference between right or wrong. It's the same when dealing with kids, raising kids, and gun crime.
Well, exactly. And and that kind of takes me into our next story, where you have an individual. Now this is the trip. This is a transgender woman, or a man who's become a woman, who is a child murderer, right? Murdered infants, a man who murdered infants to receive taxpayer-funded breast augmentation. Yep, you guessed it. Let's see. I wonder what state he is in. Let us find out. A man convicted of murdering his 2 infant children will receive taxpayer-funded breast augmentation surgery now that he identifies as transgender. Jason Michael Hahn had been serving on death row at California's San Quentin before he began identifying as a woman in 2019, choosing instead to go by the name Jessica Marie Hahn. When Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order suspending the state's death penalty while mandating a stay on all executions, authorities then moved Hahn into the woman's general population after a brief observation period. 4 years later, he now stands ready to receive taxpayer-funded surgery to aid his gender transition despite his horrific crimes. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what's the consequence for murdering his 2 children. He gets a free sex change operation.
Yeah, first off, Craig, I thought the feminine version of Jason was Jay Daughter. I don't know why they picked Jessica. Yeah, Jay Daughter.
Jay Quellen.
Jay Quellen. Aaron. I mean, this is just, I said a lot when we're overseas. We try to figure out why other cultures, other countries hate us because of the stupid stuff we done. Like, I remember watching a video, and we had taken a turtle and it lost a leg, and we put a wheel on a turtle, and around the world they're mad at us for that. And I'm like, you understand, they just would have eaten this turtle, right? It's because we got stupid stuff here, and that's one of the stupid things. Well, that's the world looking at this country, Craig. The rest of the country looks at California when this kind of stuff happens and goes, "It's California. We get it. We get it." I've sent you the meme many times that says, "Quit complaining. People who literally are living in California." And this is it. You can deal with that. You can't get a rebate on your taxes. You got to pay all that ridiculous state income tax and local taxes. Yeah, this is what it goes to. It goes to pay for boobies for a murderer. Although he probably is making looks like a pretty good time of his time in prison there.
You know, Mike, I completely forgot. I didn't forget. I completely did not realize until I had done all of the stories that this is all. I mean, literally, all of the stupidity we're talking about today is all in California. All of it, every
California.
last bit of it is right here in California.
Yeah, yeah. Well, enjoy your week away from it, Craig. I'll just say that. That's it.
Oh yeah, no, I am definitely looking forward to. Well, I'm going to Hawaii, which probably isn't a whole lot better. Just better scenery.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the latest out of Hawaii? They've decided to pass a law that says you can't have a gun on the beach.
Yeah. In other words,
because
you have a right to carry, just not a gun.
Listen, I wouldn't be going in the water. I think carrying my gun, but maybe I'm the guy that's not going in the water because I got my shoes with my wallet and my watch in it. Nobody's going to go for those. Maybe I'm the guy that's protecting it. Although it does bring up the question, Greg. How do you wear your gun when you're at the beach? I'm thinking Speedo and a shoulder holster is probably the way I'd go.
Speedo and a shoulder holster?
Yeah, I'm going old school Miami Vice. That's what I'm doing.
There you go. That's not concealed carrying, though, anymore. That's open carrying.
Well, I'll put one of those Glock socks over it. That way they can't tell. So.
There you go. Was that invented by our friends over there in Florida?
I think that was invented by Mr. Kevin Sona, if I can recall correctly.
Kevin Sona and his Glock sock.
Yep.
Oh, okay, Mike. Well, you got to see if you can find a picture of the Glock socks for folks so that they can know exactly what they are.
Oh. Okay. All right. I could do that. I could do that.
But wait, I have more on this very same kind of issue from California. And this has to do with an individual, once again, from California. All right. So we haven't even left the state. All right, here we go. Trans activist Dana Rivers, who murdered lesbian couple and their 19-year-old son in hate crime, is preying on inmates at women's prison in California. A transgender triple murderer, controversially housed in a women's prison, has been accused of preying on inmates while bragging about receiving special treatment due to California's woke incarceration policies. Dana Rivers, 68, who previously went by David Chester Warfield, before transitioning to female, brutally shot and stabbed a lesbian couple, Charlotte Reed and Patricia Wright, before turning the gun on their 19-year-old adopted son, Benny Diambu Right. There we go. In November 2016. At her sentencing last month, Judge Scott Patton said the killings were the most depraved crime I have ever handled in criminal justice system in 33 years. But a 2021 California law allowing criminals to request their prison based on their gender identity has allowed Rivers to wreak havoc in Central California's women facility in Chowchilla, California. Rivers has been a problem since she, in parentheses, rolled in the door. One inmate at the facility told the Washington Free Beacon. She is trying to control the women, saying she gets to bypass everything and basically gets special treatment. Now, Mike, I'm assuming that nobody saw this coming. I mean, who would have thought taking a triple murderer, a man who is a triple murderer, and then putting them in a women's prison because they now identify as a woman would have any sorts of problems?
Yeah, no issue at all. No issue at all. In fact, Craig, I just want to clarify. Bring back up the title page for a moment. That we're not dealing with just a murderer here. We're dealing with we're dealing with. You're missing the timing on this, Craig. You ruined it for me. No, not that. Not the story. The title page with all the stories listed on it. The topics listed on it. So, and I also sent you a nice Glock sock photo. But yeah, Craig, we're talking about a trans murderer here, according to the titles.
No.
That makes it even worse. That makes it even worse. You got a murderer out there. Hey, you guys got a murderer going on in here. Yeah. It's a trans murderer. Yeah.
All right, I was rushing, Mike. I was rushing today. All right. Cut a brother some slack.
No Russian collusion. Okay.
Man, come on now. Look. Can I get a little equity and inclusion bonus here or something? Am I misspelling?
Russian collusion inclusion? Is that what you want?
Russian collusion inclusion. What?
I don't know.
You're no fun.
Stick to muttering. Yeah, Craig. This is no issue at all, right? I identify as a woman. I'm gonna go spend in a woman's prison, and now he's raping women in prison. But oh well. Yeah, I guess his pen identified as a vajayjay, and that's okay for them, you know. So this is again, Craig. The rest of us in the country are sitting back going, "What happened? Oh my God! Wait, California? Oh no, okay, we get it. We get it.
God, but this is the thing. Now keep in mind, these are the folks who say they want to protect women, right? And yet you have multiple instances here where, or they want to protect children, and they want to protect people of color. And here you have them time after time. They've passed laws that have caused people of color to be victimized by criminals, that have allowed children to be killed, and by the way, incentivized because they get a free sex change, and then have moved someone who you know is going to victimize women, who's got a history of victimizing and murdering women, and you put them in a women's prison. This is all Democrat liberal policies. These are all policies supported by Gavin Mussolini, that are all supported by the California Democrats. Every single case. But nobody holds them accountable. They're going to keep, idiots are going to keep voting for them.
Hey, we'll vote for whoever you want us to vote for, as long as them checks keep coming, Mr. Governor. We'll do whatever you want. You want to put trans murderers in prison to rape women? Go right ahead. We'll do it.
Anyway, getting back to our previous story, there's the Glock sock. You want to explain the origin of this one for folks?
Florida is one of 4 remaining states that does not have open carry. So one of the ways to protest that open carry restriction is to actually wear your Glock in a holster, or your firearm, whatever it happens to be, in the holster. But then you put this sock over it, and it just has the picture of a gun, but the gun is concealed under the sock, so it's no longer open carry.
Now, has there been any sort of a legal determination if these things actually work with concealed carry there in Florida?
There's a case from a few years back that says printing is not a crime. So let's say you were wearing this under your shirt and you decide to wear your skinny jeans and your skinny shirt today, and you could clearly see the outline. It comes under the same standard as that. This is printing, and nobody knows if there's a real gun in there or not. Maybe it's a CERT laser training pistol for all they know. Anyway, it's not open carry because it's not open and nobody can see it.
Interesting.
Now, I don't suggest wearing this for tactical purposes. The purpose of this is clearly for demonstration events when they go out. Yeah,
just to go to the police.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. All right, let's see. What do we have here next? Oh, next story, once again, also out of... Well, no, actually, I don't know if this school is in California. I may be incorrect. Just because he plays for the Lakers does not mean that his school is in California. So LeBron James, you may recall he's got a school. And in this school, he has students. And students in all schools, whether they are what's the word I'm looking for? Whether they're public or private or charter schools, they're required to do various different testing. And it's according to the test scores for the last 3 years, according to a report, not one 8th grader at LeBron James's I Promise school has passed the state math test in 3 years. Let's see here. Okay, so this is actually in Ohio. So even though he is in California, this is actually in Ohio. Not one single eighth grader at the I Promise School LeBron in Akron, Ohio, a school funded by LeBron James, has passed their state math test in 3 years. And critics are blasting the school for its unkept promises. When LeBron James dropped into Akron with great fanfare and media coverage in 2018, promising to fund a new sort of school to help educate young people in his hometown, many hailed him as just the savior the city needed. But James's I Promise School fulfilled. But did James's I Promise School fulfill its promises? Test scores are showing that it hasn't. Now, even Akron school board members are beginning to question James's commitment to actual education and wondering if it was more about burnishing his reputation as a philanthropist than a serious effort at reinvigorating education. Now, I would just point to this and say, I would say it was probably the latter as opposed to the former.
Yeah, it's interesting, Craig. You would think that LeBron would be able to teach math. Like one shot from the foul line is 1 point, a shot from the field is 2 points, a shot from beyond the arc is 3 points. You figure math would be pretty simple there, but if he's using the basketball model, again, philanthropy. Let's drop some money down, and we make it look good. It's in Akron, it's in Ohio, so this is probably from when he was with Cleveland, and this is, look, I got money, I'm going to help, and then I'm going to do nothing. These kids are obviously not learning math if they've got nobody in eighth grade has passed the state math test in 3 years. That's they should be shut down for that. Is what should happen. The teachers should be suspended. Whatever's going on there, it's not working. It's not working. You need to revamp your math department.
Well, and the problem is that there's always so much of a desire to be innovative in education that we fail to realize, the basics work. How about we do the basics? How about we teach kids to read, write, and do math at grade level? How about we not indoctrinate them? How about we have them learn American history and American exceptionalism? How about we leave the wokeness out? How about we leave the gender identity stuff out? How about we hire competent teachers and competent staff who've demonstrated success at actually educating kids and let them do their job? Instead, we have athletes and we have entertainers who, quite frankly, think they are smarter than the rest of us. And I just say, LeBron James has a solid mind for basketball. He is very good at basketball, but that does not make him a good educator. And maybe what he needs to do is, how about you just drop your money and let the educators do their thing.
You say he's very good at basketball. He's very good at flopping. That's what I know about him. But if we get back to teaching the 3 R's, right, Craig? Reading, writing, arithmetic, and then we can learn these kids some education. Because clearly what they're it's clearly what they're doing there is not working. Although, Craig, there's always the possibility, and this is real, that state test might be racially biased.
It might be. It very well might be, but the problem is that it doesn't say that it's just based on race. It just says one kid, right? Hold on, wait. Let me look again.
No, all kids in the 8th grade in 3 years.
Not one eighth grader. So, and it's not all. It's not all black kids at his school.
No.
So,
no.
Then there's that.
The racial. That's a little movie trivia there. Who said that these tests are racially biased? Another basketball star who said that in the movie.
I have no idea.
Shaquille O'Neal in Blue Chips.
Oh, yeah. Haven't seen that one in a couple of decades.
What do you do? It's got Shaq Diesel in it.
It's got Shaq Diesel. In fact, it does have Shaq Diesel in it. It's got Penny Hardaway's in it too, huh?
Yep. Shaq Diesel.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte. That's right.
Good stuff. All right, folks. Well, hey, that takes us to our parting shot, brought to you by Hog Holsters. Get your Hog Holster, hogholster.com using the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces, one word. Get your hog holster today. All right, so we're going to start off here today. You know that right now the whole Biden crime family is still in the news, and so we're all looking forward to seeing how that all winds up. But I think he's taking a new tact on how he's promoting the understanding of what Bidenomics is. Here you got Joe Biden saying Bidenomics and holding a bag of money, and I believe that's 10% for the big guy.
10% for the big guy, big guy. You know what I saw, Craig, this weekend was another one that said, in the world of crime scene, technology, touch DNA is left on every article you touch except cocaine in the White House.
Except cocaine in the White House. That's how that kind of works. Which, by the way, leads us to a new movie that's coming out, Indiana Joe. Dude, where's my Coke?
There's my Coke. Hey, again, I'm not so upset about the cocaine in the White House. You either get to have him awake or he can go to sleep without cocaine. It's your choice.
Well, you know what they say.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
You say it, Rick. We love you, Rick. I love what MC Hammer did with your song, Rick.
I know. And that takes us to our next one. It says here, Facebook is a perfect example of socialism. You get it for free. You have no say in how it works. The guy who runs it is rich. And you have no privacy. And if you say something about it, if you say something they don't like, they shut you up.
Yeah, exactly right. Sounds more communism than anything else, but I'll go with socialism for now.
Well, exactly. And and I'll close out with this one and why we love doing memes. Memes do a better job of reporting current events than the mainstream media.
It's true. It's true.
True. It's true.
And who is that? Who is that?
I forget her name, but she's from Blazing Saddles. Lily Von something. Von Stoke.
That's no. The girl in the cartoon. Who is that?
Oh, that's Lisa.
Okay. All right. You went Maggie on me last time. I just want to double check.
I know I did.
Want to
That's why I caught myself.
make sure you're learning. I just want to make sure. That's all.
Make sure you're learning. Get that learning in. Get that learning in.
Yep.
All right, Mike. Well, speaking of learning, I've learned that now's the time for you to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Yep. Let's say good day to our friends at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. You can get rifle and pistol caliber barrels available at any length. Soon to come Glock barrels. Check out hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting the good fight behind enemy lines. Check out the California 6th congressional race while you're looking at them. And then, of course, if you want some field gear, going outside, going outdoors, going hunting, going camping, whatever it happens to be, go see our friends at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors. Make sure you tell them the guys over at The Rundown sent you. And with that, we are going to call it a day. We're going to be out of here. So we will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and thank you for encouraging your friends to do the same. We'll be back mañana on Taco Tuesday.